There is a sickness in men, a desire to be liked. They walk with lowered heads, wagging their tongues, offering loyalty like a stray offers its belly. They bark not to defend, but to be accepted. They become dogs, obedient, harmless, and pitiful. This is your first death. You were taught that loyalty is a virtue. It is not. It is a leash. The man who gives it freely is a slave, and the man who demands it without deserving it is a tyrant. In both cases, the dog suffers. The figure of the dog, though domesticated and praised for its loyalty, is in truth a creature bred for submission. Its instincts are dulled, its teeth offered not to hunt, but to defend its master. What the world applauds as loyalty is, at its core, a quiet surrender of sovereignty. The dog lives not for itself, but for the hand that feeds it. It is fed when permitted, praised when useful, and punished when disobedient. This creature, though seemingly noble in its dedication, embodies the very essence of dependence. It becomes a slave to affection, addicted to approval, and paralyzed by rejection. In political and personal life alike, the man who behaves as the dog does, who seeks validation, who wags at praise, who recoils at disfavor, is doomed to remain at the feet of others. He will never lead, for leadership demands independence of thought, a tolerance for solitude, and a ruthless capacity to act without applause. The dog, conditioned to fear disapproval, cannot think beyond the desires of its master. It does not move by its own will, it waits for commands. This is the first and most subtle form of death, the death of personnel command. Such a man will not survive in a world ruled by wolves and lions. The court, the marketplace, the street, all are filled with predators cloaked in silk, smiling with the grace of serpents. These predators do not bark, they do not beg, they do not announce their presence. They observe, they calculate, they choose their moment. The dog, ever desperate to be seen, to be accepted, reveals his entire soul in a wag of the tail. His intentions, his fears, his desires, all are plainly read by the more cunning, and what is exposed is easily exploited. The tragedy of the dog lies not in its loyalty, but in its illusion. It believes that by being kind, it will be spared. It believes that by being obedient, it will be protected. It believes that by being harmless, it will be loved forever. But love fades. Circumstance changes, masters grow bored, and when danger arises, no one shelters the dog. It is either sacrificed first or left to fend for itself, teeth dulled by years of domestication. The dog that cannot hunt, cannot fight, and cannot survive without affection becomes a burden, and burdens are discarded. In a time of conflict, the dog cannot defend the gate. It growls to warn, but has neither the courage nor cunning to strike. It relies on others to do what it cannot, and thus, it is never feared. To be unfeared is to be powerless, for power does not reside in how much one is loved, but in how dangerous one is perceived to be. A man with the heart of a dog cannot command respect, only sympathy. But sympathy does not build empires. It does not secure victory. It does not keep the knife from your throat. This worship of the dog's traits, loyalty, obedience, gentleness, is a tool used by those in power to maintain control. They preach virtue not because they honor it, but because it weakens those who follow it blindly. The powerful do not live like dogs. They merely teach others to. They smile as the dog defends their estate, fights their wars, serves their ambition, all while believing it is fulfilling some noble destiny. But nobility without autonomy is just another word for servitude. To understand the full extent of the dog's imprisonment, one must look at how quickly society turns on it. The dog that bites once, even in defense, is called dangerous. The dog that stops obeying is abandoned. The dog that questions its master is put down. In this, the lesson is clear: obedience is not rewarded, it is expected, and once it ceases, the illusion of value disappears. The servant who forgets his place is not reformed, he is removed. Thus, the very traits that once made the dog useful now ensure its destruction. The dog is a creature admired by fools and used by the cunning. Its loyalty is paraded as virtue, its obedience mistaken for moral strength, and its eagerness to please dressed up as nobility. But strip away the sentiment, and what remains is a being trained to need approval, to lower itself at the slightest sign of disapproval, and to trade its instincts for a pat on the head. The dog is not born to serve, but it is quickly broken to serve. It is a slave made palatable by affection, and so too is the man who models himself after it. He who chooses the life of the dog believes safety lies in being agreeable, in yielding, in never posing a threat. He fears conflict more than humiliation, punishment more than mediocrity. He learns to anticipate the needs of others before they are spoken, not out of wisdom, but out of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of being seen as dangerous. His tongue is quick with apologies, his eyes always seeking permission. He does not move unless given the signal. He does not speak unless invited.